Welcome to Aging Untold. When facing tough times, hiding your troubles can be a natural reaction. But for some aging loved ones, keeping secrets can be a desperate attempt to control an uncontrollable situation, which can become dangerous. Sam, beyond the desire for independence, what are the deeper fears driving older adults to hide things from their families?
Well, you have to understand that the minute I tell you something's wrong, you're going to rush in here like the cavalry or a knight in shining armor, and you're going to take over everything. And I'm going to completely and totally lose control of my entire life. I don't want to be a burden. That is the thing I hear so frequently. And there's so much shame that we have tied to just normal aging things. We have tied any kind of decline, any kind of need for assistance, and we've made it feel like you're less. You're less of a human because you can't do everything yourself. And so why do I want to be less? So I'm just not going to tell you any of these things are going on. I'm not going to let you know that maybe I'm having a bladder leakage or I'm having accidents. I'm not going to let you know that my driving's questionable. I'm certainly not going to let you know that I'm not paying my bills on time, because then you're going to tell me I can't do this anymore and I have to move.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to start to question you. When people start to question them, they get kind of defensive, and you'll start to get other answers like, well, I don't know. I don't remember, or they're very defensive, or sometimes you have to just take a look and see kind of what's going on. Pay attention to little clues. Mm-hmm. You know, my grandmother was still driving and going to pick up all of her friends in Chicago, and we would see all these dings and dents. And we would say, well, she was like, I don't know why somebody keeps hitting my...
Somebody keeps hitting my car.
And we were like, okay. So you have to just start paying attention. These little clues are there. And I think I would take it for myself, pretty fearful if I realize that I'm starting to lose some things.
Sure.
That's kind of a scary situation to be in.
It's very scary. I mean, I've got another example that this woman couldn't handle her own money. I was visiting with her, and she said, I have a whole money management system. And I said, well, tell me what it is. Show me what's involved. So she opened up her dishwasher.
Oh. All right.
And she had all her financial records. Everything was in there, the credit cards, and I sat there and I told her how impressed I was with her system. You know, so I think validating how they're doing is really important to acknowledge, you know, your system's working. Can I just tweak a few things so I make sure you're protected? So you want to start small.
A lot of times when people in my profession go over and take a look at the house, take a look at the stuff, to talk to them about a plan for everything in the future, one of the first things they'll say is, well, I've been falling and please don't tell my daughter. Mm-hmm. And so I think, oh my goodness, I wouldn't want my family member to tell strangers what's going on. I mean, good thing they're telling somebody, but to feel like they couldn't tell me. The truth is, when you start falling and things start happening, that's not going to be a secret for very long. And so we might as well just pull up our big girl pants and have a real discussion with family, the people that need to know. And if not your family, who? And be thinking about who can you start preparing to help you when you're maybe no longer able, when you need more assistance. And that fear holds people back. And you'd mentioned too, like, I'm afraid that they're gonna make me move. Well, sometimes moving could be the best thing that ever happened, but sometimes. You don't know that because you're afraid and you don't know what it would look like. And so really what you need is more information, getting more information so that you and family members have better ideas on how life could be better.
I think understanding what some of I call them Easter eggs, because it's oftentimes an Easter egg hunt with our age community. And so what are some of the common Easter eggs? What are some of the common things that the falls, absolutely, the dings in the car. But then if you're hearing the memory lapses, well, I'm just tired, or I forgot. I just forgot. If you're hearing those kind of things frequently, we've got something else going on. Incontinence. You walk into a house and you're starting to smell urine, There's something going on. You can be inquiring. You do not come across as an interrogator and be, accusatory. Missing meds. So keep an eye on your loved one's meds, even if they're managing themselves, because that's where the most common mistakes happen, and that causes the falls that cause the hospitalizations. Financial confusion, not getting their mail, not opening mail, not paying bills on time, and then any kind of weight loss. Empty refrigerators or refrigerators that have a hoard of spoiled food. And we see both ends of the spectrum. So you got to watch those. But, everybody's so afraid of having somebody else take over. So we have to normalize. We have to normalize what happens in aging, and we got to reduce the shame.
And the other thing too is you're trying to do this balancing between safety and dignity.
Yes.
And so, but the safety is important to us, the dignity is important to them, but they can coexist, and we have to try to find a way to identify what's going on and give them help before we're forced to make a decision.
Yeah.
And involve them.